Are you constantly feeling drained, struggling with that persistent feeling of being low energy and tired all the time, no matter how much sleep you get or how many cups of coffee you down? You're not alone. So many of us walk around feeling this deep sense of fatigue, and we chalk it up to busy schedules, stress, or just modern life. But what if I told you the real culprit, the hidden reason for your exhaustion, isn't just your to-do list? What if it's something deeper, something from your past that's quietly, invisibly stealing your energy every single day? Many people miss this crucial connection, but today we're going to talk about how your inner child might be the one holding your vitality hostage, and more importantly, how you can start to reclaim that precious energy. Welcome. If you clicked on this video, chances are you know what it's like to feel that bone-deep weariness, that sense of running on empty. Maybe you've tried everything: more sleep, better nutrition, exercise, and yet that fatigue clings to you. This isn't just about physical tiredness. It's often a profound low energy that impacts your mood, your motivation, and your overall mental health. Today, we're going to explore a perspective that often gets overlooked in conversations about energy: the profound impact of our unresolved emotional issues, particularly those connected to our inner child. That younger part of you, the one that experienced the world with wide open senses and a vulnerable heart, still lives within you. And if that inner child is carrying unhealed wounds or unmet needs, it can be a significant ongoing drain on your adult energy resources. This isn't about blame. It's about understanding. It's about mental health awareness and recognizing the intricate ways our past shapes our present vitality. So how exactly does this happen? How can something from your childhood be affecting your energy levels now, possibly even contributing to things like chronic fatigue or making you wonder how to get out of depression when you just feel so depleted? Let's explore some of the primary ways your inner child might be inadvertently stealing your energy. First, and perhaps most significantly, is the energy cost of carrying unhealed childhood trauma. Now, when we say trauma, it's a broad term. It can range from overtly abusive or neglectful experiences to more subtle but still deeply impactful situations like growing up in an emotionally unstable environment, experiencing bullying, or feeling consistently misunderstood or invalidated. For a highly sensitive person, childhood trauma can be particularly impactful as their nervous systems process experiences more intensely. When these wounds aren't healed, they don't just disappear. They become like an app running constantly in the background of your mind, consuming a massive amount of your subconscious energy. Think about it. Your system might be in a state of low-grade or even high-grade hypervigilance. This means your brain and body are constantly on alert, scanning for threats, real or perceived, because your inner child learned that the world wasn't always a safe place. Being in this state of readiness, this fight or flight mode, even subtly, is incredibly taxing. It burns through your energy reserves at an alarming rate, leading to that feeling of being perpetually low energy and tired. Then there's the energy of suppression. It takes a tremendous amount of psychological effort to keep painful memories, emotions, and beliefs buried. Your inner child might have learned to push down fear, sadness, anger, or shame because it wasn't safe to express them. Or there was no one there to help process them. As an adult, you might not even be consciously aware of what you're suppressing, but your subconscious mind is working overtime to keep that lid on. This internal battle, this constant effort to contain the uncontained, is a huge energy leak. It can manifest as persistent anxiety, a common companion to unhealed trauma, and contributes significantly to chronic fatigue. Some individuals might even experience symptoms that align with chronic fatigue syndrome, where the body's energy systems seem completely depleted. And while the causes are complex, underlying emotional burdens are often a contributing factor. A skilled psychologist or clinical psychologist specializing in trauma can help individuals understand these connections. The field of clinical psychology has shown us time and again that these early experiences profoundly shape our emotional health and consequently our physical vitality. Ignoring these wounds doesn't make them go away. It just ensures they continue to siphon off your precious energy. Inner child healing is about gently addressing these wounds, not to re-traumatize, but to release the trapped energy. Another major way your inner child can deplete your energy is through people-pleasing. Does this sound familiar? You find it hard to say no. You constantly worry about what others think of you. You go out of your way to make everyone else happy, often at your own expense. This pattern of behavior is often deeply rooted in childhood. If your inner child didn't consistently receive the message that they were loved and valued unconditionally just for being themselves, they might have learned that they needed to earn love and approval. They might have discovered that by being good, compliant, helpful, or by anticipating the needs of caregivers, they could get a little bit of the validation they craved, or perhaps avoid disapproval or conflict. This becomes a deeply ingrained survival strategy. As an adult, this translates into a constant, exhausting quest for external validation. You're always performing, always trying to be what you think others want you to be. Your antennae are perpetually up, trying to read people, to anticipate their needs and reactions, to ensure everyone likes you and approves of you. This is an immense energy leak. Your personal energy reserves are constantly being poured outwards, leaving very little for yourself. Think about the mental and emotional effort involved, the overthinking before sending an email, the replaying of conversations to see if you said the right thing, the anxiety before social gatherings, the fear of disappointing someone. Each of these actions is an energy expenditure. Your inner child is essentially still seeking that safety and acceptance it didn't get enough of. And it's driving you to deplete yourself in the process. This isn't a character flaw, it's a coping mechanism that has outlived its usefulness and is now costing you dearly in terms of your vitality. It can contribute to feelings of anxiety and even depression, because no matter how much you please others, that deep inner need for self-acceptance, which the inner child craves, remains unmet by external sources. Breaking free from people-pleasing is a crucial part of inner child healing and reclaiming your energy. Closely related to people-pleasing and another significant energy drain driven by inner child needs is perfectionism. We're not talking about healthy striving or having high standards. We're talking about the compulsive, often paralyzing need to be flawless, to avoid any hint of criticism or failure. This type of perfectionism is almost always rooted in fear, a fear that often originates in childhood. Perhaps your inner child learned that love, approval, or safety were conditional upon their performance. Maybe mistakes were harshly criticized, or praise was only given for exceptional achievements. The message received was, "You are only good enough if you are perfect." As an adult, this translates into an incredibly high-energy, high-stress way of living. The cost is immense. Think about the energy spent on constant self-scrutiny. You're your own harshest critic, picking apart everything you do. Procrastination. The fear of not doing something perfectly can be so overwhelming that you avoid starting it altogether, which then creates more stress and energy drain. Redoing work endlessly, never feeling like anything is good enough, leading to wasted time and effort. Fear of judgment. Living with a constant low-level or high-level anxiety about what others will think. Difficulties celebrating achievements. Even when you do well, the perfectionist inner child immediately focuses on what could have been better or moves the goalpost. This relentless pursuit of an unattainable ideal is a massive energy leak. Your inner child is desperately trying to achieve that feeling of safety or worthiness it associates with perfection. But because perfection is an illusion, the quest is never ending and the energy expenditure is continuous. This can lead to burnout, chronic fatigue, and a deep sense of dissatisfaction. Sometimes contributing to feelings of depression because you feel like you're constantly failing to meet your own impossible standards. Learning how to get out of depression often involves addressing these underlying perfectionistic tendencies. So we've talked about trauma, people-pleasing, and perfectionism as major drains. But how do you start to identify your specific energy leaks that are tied to your inner child? It requires becoming a compassionate detective in your own life. Start by paying close attention to your energy levels throughout the day and week. Notice when you feel most drained, depleted, or when that familiar fatigue really hits hard. These moments are often valuable signposts, situations Are there particular situations that consistently leave you feeling exhausted? Maybe it's family gatherings, certain types of work meetings, or even seemingly enjoyable social events where you feel you have to be on. People do interactions with certain individuals reliably drain your energy. This doesn't necessarily mean they are toxic people, but their dynamics with you might be activating old inner child wounds or patterns, like people-pleasing. Thought patterns. What kind of thoughts are running through your head when you feel your energy plummet? Are you engaging in harsh self-criticism, perfectionism? Are you ruminating on past hurts, trauma? Are you excessively worrying about what others think, people-pleasing? Emotional states. Which emotions, when you experience them intensely or for prolonged periods, seem to wipe you out? Unprocessed grief, chronic resentment, persistent fear. These all consume vast amounts of energy. Keep a mental note, or even better, a journal for a week or two. When you feel that low energy and tired feeling creeping in, ask yourself, what was I just doing? Who was I with? What was I thinking or feeling? These patterns of depletion often point directly to unresolved inner child issues. For instance, if you feel exhausted after every interaction with a critical family member, it might be because your inner child is desperately trying to win their approval, people-pleasing, or is re-experiencing old feelings of inadequacy, trauma, perfectionism. If you feel drained after a day of striving for flawlessness on a project, that's your perfectionist inner child at work. This process of identifying energy leaks is a crucial step in inner child healing. It brings awareness to the subconscious ways you're losing vitality. Sometimes, these patterns are so ingrained that it can be helpful to work with a psychologist or someone trained in clinical psychology to help you see them more clearly. They can provide a safe space to explore these connections without judgment and help you understand the deeper emotional health implications. Now, hearing all this might feel a bit heavy. You might be thinking, great, another thing I need to fix about myself. But I want to frame this differently. Inner child healing is not about adding another burdensome task to your already overflowing plate. It's about reclaiming something that is rightfully yours, your vital life energy. Think of it this way. All the energy currently being used to suppress old pain, to be hypervigilant, to please others, to strive for impossible perfection, that energy becomes available to you when you heal those underlying wounds. It's like closing down those background apps that were draining your battery. Suddenly, you have more power for the things that truly matter in your present life. So what does this healing look like? It's a journey, and it's unique for everyone. But some core components often include acknowledgement, recognizing that your inner child exists and that their experiences were real and impactful. Validation, allowing your inner child to feel seen and heard, validating the emotions they experienced even if no one did at the time. Telling that part of you, yes, that was scary, or yes, that was unfair, or yes, you deserve to be loved just as you were. Compassion, treating your inner child, and therefore yourself, with the kindness, understanding, and gentleness they may not have received. Reparenting, actively providing your inner child with what they needed but didn't get. Safety, security, unconditional love, acceptance, permission to be imperfect, encouragement to play and be joyful. This is something your adult self can offer to your younger self. Setting boundaries, learning to say no, protecting your energy, and disengaging from dynamics that are rooted in old, unhealthy patterns. This is crucial for stopping people-pleasing. Processing emotions, allowing yourself to feel and release stored emotions in healthy ways, perhaps through therapy, journaling, movement, or creative expression. This process of inner child healing directly addresses the root causes of your energy leaks. As you resolve these internal conflicts, as you soothe the fears and meet the needs of your inner child, the energy that was bound up in those old patterns is liberated. This isn't just a metaphorical shift. Many people report tangible increases in their physical energy, a reduction in anxiety and depression symptoms, and an overall greater sense of well-being and vitality. For some, it can even be a component in managing conditions like chronic fatigue syndrome by reducing the immense stress load the body has been carrying. This is proactive mental health awareness in action, leading to profound improvements in your emotional health and overall life force. If you've been feeling constantly drained, if that low energy and tired feeling has become your unwelcome companion, I hope today's exploration has offered you a new perspective. The connection between your inner child, your past experiences, and your present energy levels is profound. The unhealed wounds of childhood trauma, the exhausting patterns of people-pleasing, the relentless drive of perfectionism. These are not just psychological concepts. They are real energy leaks that can leave you feeling depleted and struggling with fatigue. But the wonderful news is that this isn't a life sentence. You don't have to resign yourself to a life of low energy. By embarking on the journey of inner child healing, you are not just addressing emotional pain. You are actively working to recharge your entire system. You are plugging those energy leaks and reclaiming the vitality that has been siphoned off for far too long. This path requires courage, compassion, and commitment, but the rewards are immeasurable. Imagine having more energy for your passions, your relationships, your work, and simply for the joy of being alive. Imagine feeling less anxiety, less weighed down by depression, and more in tune with your authentic self. That vitality is within you, waiting to be unleashed. If this resonated with you and you're interested in learning more about how to connect with and heal your inner child, make sure to subscribe to our channel. We share many insights, tips, and techniques to support you on your journey to greater energy and well-being. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss our upcoming videos, where we explore these topics further. Your energy and your well-being are an investment in yourself. Thank you for joining me today. Remember, your energy is sacred. Understanding where it's going and how to reclaim it is one of the most empowering things you can do for your mental health, your emotional health, and your overall quality of life. Start listening to what your fatigue might be trying to tell you. Your inner child has a voice, and healing begins when you start to listen. Take that first step. Be kind to yourself. Your vibrant, energized life is waiting. Until next time.